Good evening, Parshas Tazriya, Tavshin Pedalet. Let's go directly into the psukim. Okay, we're starting. The name of the parasha is going to carry basically the only first 8 psukim of the parasha. The rest of the parasha is going to talk about the Metzora. So obviously, right there we have a little bit of a pointer that if the whole parasha is called after only 8 psukim versus the whole entire parsha, I mean, there is something very fundamental in here. And let us discover that. So, Vaydaber Hashem al Moshe Leimor, Kadosh Baruch Hu speaks to Moshe, saying, Daber b'nei Yisrael, speak to the b'nei Yisrael, Leimor, to say. It's a very interesting language. I'm not going to go into this, but I want you to pay attention that b'nei Yisrael were ordered these halachas, the halachas of a woman giving birth, and the type of tumah she will encounter. So, so you can say from here, the Erev Rav was not ordered. So if they don't keep nida, they don't keep yolדת, it's no big deal. I just want to point this here. Isha ki tazriya v'yolda zacha. Listen, all the sefer refuos, all the remedies come out of the Torah. We don't need the Torah to go into lessons and teach us, how to have a boy, how to have a girl. Oh, everything comes out of the Torah. The Torah could have said, since the whole purpose here and the whole subject is the tumah, Torah should have said, Isha kiseled, Zachar. So a woman that would give birth to a boy, Vetam Ashivas Yamim, she will be Tameya for 7 days and stop, because whatever comes after, I don't know what it means. Kime, like the day Nidas devoisa, her tumah of Nida Titma, she will be Tame. You already said Vetama. There's no need to repeat Titma. Why do you have to compare it, Tumas Yolדת, compare it to the tumah of Nida? Okay, a woman sees blood, mostly, generally once a month, and she's Tmei and Nida. Okay, but here we're talking about Tumas Yolדת. Yes, it resembles because it's 7 days. I mean, what else? Everything that's 7 days, you're going to compare it to Nida? And this lashon, Nidas devoisa titma, makes no sense. Kime nidasa, like the day of, you want to compare it, I'm giving it to you. Okay, kime nidasa, like the days of her Nida. Devoisa titma, makes no sense. This whole part. So we have a question here. Isha ki tazriya. Why do you mean by Isha ki tazriya? Really, you want to teach me the laws, the laws of nature, the laws of the body? Why dafke here? So teach them to me all over. Out of nowhere, ubayayim hashemini yimail besar oilase. On the 8th day, the boy, you have to do a bris milah. Where is the halachas of bris milah? By Abraham Avinu. In Parshas at the end of Lech Lecha. Why do you interject me this here? We're talking about the tumah of a yolדת, the tumah of a woman giving birth. What's the purpose of you coming and telling me right here the bris milah? Bris milah has nothing to do because we're not even going to go into the halachas of bris milah. You're only stating one pasuk. Ubayayim hashemini, and the 8th day, we're gonna cut the flesh of his all. Interesting language. After that, ushloishim yoim, ushloishes yamim, 33 days, teshev bidmei tahara. All the blood that she's gonna see, it's dam tahir. It's not nida, even though we're not knowing like this today because we don't know the exact cycles. But according to the din of the Torah, a woman after the 7 days of birth of a boy, the 33 next days, even if she sees blood, she's tehora. It's called dam tahor. Bechol kodesh lo isiga velamigdash lo isavoi adme lo isyeme tahora. But she cannot come touch kodesh. She cannot come to the Beis Hamikdash despite that until completion of those days of purity. And after that, if we see if you're going to take just the first pasuk, and if she gives birth to a girl, now all of a sudden everything is going to be double. She will be temeya nida, like a nida for 14 days. Keni dasa. You see here the pasuk says keni dasa. I didn't have to say nidas de voisa titma. Keni dasa, like her nida. Veshishim yoim vesheshes yamim, and 66 days. Teishev al deme tahora. She will be any blood she will see will be tahor. 66 is double of 33. 14 is a double of 7. We have before us a huge enigma. What's the difference? And why the difference between a boy and a girl giving birth? What's the difference between the days of tumah of a boy to the days of tumah of a girl? And why the difference between the days of Tyra of a girl, of a boy, versus those of a girl? Torah starts with us. What are we talking about here? The whole Parasha is called upon those psukim. The Ohev Israel says that, start the Parasha with saying here that the soidos, terrible soidos hidden in this little Parasha of Yolדת. And as much as I have a Yetzer Hara to talk to you and go very deep on a certain inyan, a little bit for personal reasons, but I will stay away from that. And we're just going to learn Torah for the sake of Torah. I'm going to forget about the rest. And we're going to go deep, but just to understand what's going on in this lashon of the psukim. Why is a Torah talking in a language that no one would be able to use even today after so many thousands of years, and in public that he would refrain because he would be ashamed to use? So why is the Torah, which is always proper, what is the Torah telling us here? Obviously, it carries a huge message, huge. All right, let's start explaining, first of all, the way a person can achieve with his avodah, and he could go up and basically be poel in Shammai. A person, it says, Vayitze Hashem Elokim es Adam. No, it's Vayibra Zachar Keva Bera'am Vayikra Shem Adam. We all know the pasuk. It's all known. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu created. The Midrash says that he created both Adam and Chava, both on one side. Tremendous midrashim even on this week going onto it. I don't want to expand onto that because it doesn't carry on the message. You're going to see today a message I've been repeating over and over. Yeah, okay, it's not going to be a new message, but you will understand it to a level that's going to make it brand new to you. And it's so fundamental that it's kedai to repeat it, and you repeat it to other week after week after week. Maybe you're going to change one person. And for that one person, it's kedai. So a person is complete, is considered half a body, an individual, half a body. Meaning half a body is a man, half a body is a woman. When the neshama came up, the neshama is a real sparkle from HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself, Kabiyachol. It's really a sparkle from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent this sparkle in this oitzar of neshamas, they were composed. So, they go down one level. So they were composed by a male force and a female force. Before I'm going deeper in this, let me explain you something that, because we're not going to understand. We're going to think we are misogynist here or not understand. Who was conceived first, Yaakov or Esau? Obviously, we know it's Yaakov. All the Rishonim say that. And Rashi said, if you put a little ball in a tube and a second one after it, and you turn it around, which ball comes out first? The second one, not the first one. That's why Esau was born first, but he was conceived second. And when you see in this world the power of the female, and we're going to explain why is it different than in Shamayim, you understand that it's exactly the same system as the ball. The man comes out first, so he feels more powerful, but the female is really a lot higher than the man. The female did not sin in the ego. So the woman has powers. That's why it says, Tzadikim yoishvim, when Mashiach will come, va'ateroiseim beroishem. What's ateroiseim? It's the crown. Who is the crown of a man? Eshes chayil ateres bala. Eshes chayil is the crown of her husband. So tzaddikim will be sitting down with their wife above their head, starting. So I mean, the wife is gonna be exactly like we're gonna paskin like Beis Shammai versus Beis Hillel. Only before Mashiach we paskin like Beis Hillel, but after Mashiach we paskin like Beis Shammai. The same way here, the woman, and we're gonna see why she carries a burden, and she carries her sin. And she expiates her sin that way, but then she will retake and reclaim her original place. Now that I've said that, I can go on. So it was male and female into Shamayim. But when they came down from the Keser all the way to the Malchus, that's why the Malchus is also considered the mother of all the neshamas of Bnei Yisrael. Because at the end of the day, prior to coming down to this world, they went through the Malchus. So any transition that was to the neshama, it's called the mother. So from the Keser, it goes to the Bina. Okay, to the Chochmah, to the Bina, and from there directly to the Malchus. So basically, we have the letters that formed by this is Oyhel, when it's a tent. The Aleph for Keser, Lamed, when the Bina is connected to the Chochmah, we've seen it, and the Hey of the Malchus. And this is how the Neshamas of Bnei Yisrael. That's why sometimes you're going to see in Kabbalah that the Ariya Kodesh is going to say that the Bina is the source of the Neshamas. Sometimes he's going to say that the Malchus, it just points you out that he's going to speak about that part when the neshamas came out of that chelek, the malchus, or when the neshamas came out of the bina, and so forth. So they were one up there in Shamayim, and when they started coming down to this world, they divided. Or in the Oitzar, the Zohar says, well, they were in the malchus, they got separated, male on one side, female on the other side. So one day in Shamayim, and they are the same level, it's very easy to combine them. And naturally, since they are fully, in full communion because of their level, so they connect not only in a goof, which there's no goof, but nefesh, ruach, neshama. It's a full shit. But once they come down to this world, and each one go their separate way, and they do what they do, automatically the person is not at the same level anymore. That's what we say in Soita, in Beis Hamudav, Kasha zivugo kel adam kiflaim ki kriyas yamsuf. No, ki kriyas yamsuf. So it's as difficult on HaKadosh Baruch Hu to reconnect them. Why? Because now you understand they're not at the same level anymore. They really don't deserve. They cannot be in communion because they can have, you know, the neshama is going to recognize the other neshama, so they're going to be appealing to each other. But the nefesh ruach neshama won't match because this depends on the maisim of a person. If he's not up to the level, they're not going to have a good marriage. That's what it is. So, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted it that way. And there are many reasons, no need to expand on it. We just need to keep on going. Now you understand at least this part. So once the neshama is going to come, some is going to be a zachar, a male, some it's going to be a nekeva, a female. What decides if it's going to be a male or a female? The Torah says, Isha ki tazriya, but we know it cannot mean the literal translation. It's impossible. Everything is decided by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Nothing is done. The Ashgacha is in Prate Pratim. You want to tell me that a life is going to come to this world, such a huge Maisa is going to come to this world, depending on a physical fact? Makes no sense. Just makes no sense. There's no physicality that can define life. Otherwise, we would be able to recreate life. So we need here to understand what triggered the birth of a Zachar or the birth of Nekeva, and by touching the words of the pasuk maybe differently. Dorachem HaKodesh comes with a huge word in here. He brings down so much, he compacted so many zohar that it's almost hard. I could take just his words and make a whole shir out of it. I explain you where in the zohar it says this and where it says that, but you know, I'm going to give you the general idea and the purpose of what he says without going too much in his words, because they're so deep and again, and require the knowledge of so many zohar that it won't make sense if I just explain his words. I'm going to try to the best way possible I can. As I should put the right words in my mouth. We all know Shloisha Shutfim be'Adam. There are three partners in the creation of every person: his father, his mother, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We've been speaking about this quite a few times. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, let's go simple. He has from the father and the mother the blood, the flesh, the sign. So that's the mother. Anything white, sign is teeth, white of the eye, and so forth, is the father. The flesh, the blood is the mother. Anything red is the mother. So the pupil, the cornea, and thing is the mother. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he combines everything into a body. But really, HaKadosh Baruch Hu prepares neshamas to go into that body, and it's going to be the parents with their machshava that going to pull down the neshama that's going to go in the baby that's going to be conceived. Just to show you again the power of machshava. Machshava can go up. Told you it comes from the keser, the neshama, and can pull down a neshama to go into that little baby, tiny thing that's going to start being conceived right now. And he brings a proof from the Gemara in Sanhedrin that Chizkiah Melech, that was a tremendous tzaddik, was zoiche, even though he married the daughter of Nasan Hanavi, tremendous tzaddik, he had two terrible Reshaim as children. Why did he have two Reshaim as children? Explained the Gemara. Because during the intercourse, the mother thought about the avadim of Baladan. And this pulled very bad neshamas, and automatically the people that came out were acting, so the body is only a consequence. What the actions of the body are a consequence of what inside. For example, the Zohar HaKadosh explained in Tikkunim that Cain was the first born after Eitz Hadas, correct? What was Eitz Hadas? What happened? I don't want to go into the whole story again. We can't waste time. So in the Eitz Hadas, the Nachash, it says, Hitil Zohama, that's the Lashon of Chazal. He puts, Zohama is something disgusting, garbage, in Chava. What is Zohama? Zohama equals 59. How much equals Nida? 59. Say Chazal, he brought the Tumas Nida on Chava. Not knowing this, she went with Adam right before Shabbos, right after that. Cain and Hevel were born from Tumas Nida. The power of the Nachash is Nida. Once Nida, so you understand that what the women are carrying in this world, the burden of the Chet Eitz Hadas, because they committed to it and they brought it onto everyone. Therefore, they carry the burden. Now, Cain, what did he do? He killed his brother. And if you take you know that the punishment of HaKadosh Baruch Hu are always midah keneged midah. And if you take the word of his punishment, na vanad, is avon denida. It's because he had tumas nida in him. Someone that was born through a union when the mother didn't keep taras hamishpacha, the neshama that comes in the boy, it's a complete gap. He's completely, it's like a broken vessel. Has very bad midas. As the stapler that Sal says in Mishnah allocates at the end of Chelek Shvi, he has a little cheveres that he was writing, the writings, the letters between him and Reb Menashe Klein. He states, all the Rishonim says, to stay away from them because they're metame even with their dibur. On Shabbos, I will go deeper on this because I need to pass on that teaching, but I don't want to do it in a manner where I'm recorded and it may be understood the wrong way, and I don't want to sleep neither. So I cannot say too much here, but I would like to tell you that it's very hard for someone to overcome that, even though there is a possibility. And how do you know that if he overcame that? You're going to see till the end of this year, it's going to be, I'm going to close on this, it's going to be the way he talks. If he's talking, if his words are not proper, you know that he's 100% under this effect, and his midas are tremendously bad, and his own dibur by himself, just the dibur of that person is metame. I prove it to you that even Laban at that time when Rachel told him that she was Nida, he didn't answer because he knows talking to a Nida, once you create a communication, even with the word, the tumor can go up like a chibur, a nitzoik, like when you pour wine on yain nesech, even though the wine on top is kosher, you pour it onto a barrel of yain nesech, the yain nesech goes up the flow of wine and is metame even the wine that is on top. So the goyim then, they were scared of the tumor of Nida, and they used to, that's what Nida also comes from, Nidu. They used to put a woman that was menstruating into a different tent that she should be alone, because this tumor was really very dangerous. So we see now that Cain and Hevel, the actions of Cain came for what? Because the Ari HaKadosh says he took most of the Zohama, which now you know it's a tumas of Nida from his mother, and therefore he committed a crime. And this crime, HaKadosh Baruch Hu hinted him, came from that tumah. And anyone who is within that tumah of Nida, he has no way out. Whether it's before everyone or behind curtains, you can be assured this guy is not what he seems on the outside. If he seems good. Dora Chaim HaKodesh keeps on saying, you know who this Isha we're talking about here? This Isha is the Shekhinah. Many times in the Torah, the Shekhinah is called Isha. So what it means? Explain the Zacha v'yalda nekeva, Zacha nekeva. He explained that the Shekhinah, sometime through the Shekhinah comes Yeshuas, a Geula. But the Geula can come in a form of female or in a form of male. In other words, when the Geula happens in the form of female, like Mitzrayim, it's only for a certain period of time. Afterward, we went back to Galus. Okay, it stayed. We had the first Beis Hamikdash. Boom, got destroyed. We went to Galus. We redeemed ourselves. We got the second Beis Hamikdash. Boom, got destroyed. These Geulos are Geulos that are considered female. When will come Mashiach at the end of time, this Geula is Zachar. Completely forever. Let's try to explain his words a little bit a different way. Let's go into the Psukim. I would like to show you in the Psukim exactly his words. We had a problem with this word. Tazriya, we say should have sent kiseled. And if I should prove you, on Isha, I'm afraid that I'm going to run out of time, but without telling you the main message. But trust me, I mean, if Dora Chaim HaKodesh also, we don't need to prove his words. That Isha here is prophecy. says in the pasuk, Bereshis bara Elokim es hashamayim v'esaaretz v'ha'isa soihu b'avoihu b'choshech apneisem v'ruach Elokim merachepes apnei hamayim. The Midrash Rabbah says right there, v'ruach Elokim zu rucho shel Mashiach. V'ruach Elokim, where is the Mashiach holding in the Malchus, right? Isha, we say it's the Malchus. Isha equals v'ruach Elokim. So we see from here, we're talking about much higher stuff. But again, let's go into the words of the Or HaChaim HaKadosh. So we had the problem with this word, but this word has a magical number, 687, the top pass. I'm not going to write you the answer. I'm just going to show it to you. We know that these four names together, it means all the Yud-Ke, Vav-Ke, the different writing in full of the Yud-Ke, Vav-Ke equals 232. Okay, so keep in mind 232. We know that the three writings of the Keye equals 455. It means all the name of the Chachma, all the name of the Bina written in full and shining, because every time we open it, the Oyer and Sof that's in there shines. So we have these seven names. How much is 232 plus 455 equals 687, Tazriya. Now you understand what it means here, Isha Kisazriya. When the Shechina will shine, will send out the names of HaKadosh Baruch Hu from the Chochmah and the Bina in full, the Yolda Zachar. When these seven names are going to shine, she's going to shine them upon us. Then it's going to be a Zachar, according to Or HaChaim HaKadosh. It means a Geula Shleima that will last. Why? Because if you take that word, equals 227 equals Berach. That's the true Berach. That's going to be the bracha till end of time, will never stop, because the seven names, the Oyer and Sof is shining upon us through the Shechina, and therefore be no end to it. We have to understand, according to this, what it means then. Betam Shivas Yamim. I mean, I love the beginning of the pasuk, but we have to understand, how to connect the pasuk till the end here, and make sense of it. And we still have to understand it because it seems we're really talking about a child here. We're not just talking about the Shechina and whatever the Shechina is going to shower us with, and what's going to be the outcome of this Oyer. There's going to be something out of this. And this part we need to understand. But at least we have anchored one part, that the Shechina, when it shines, the names of the Chochmah, the four names of Yud-Ke, Vav-Ke in full, and the three names of Keye in full, at that moment is the Geul. How do we get there? That's going to be now the part we're going to dig out. I would still like to point something, another proof to the, because it's going to carry its weight later. So I'd rather introduce it while you're fresh in here. Now, if we take these three words together, Isha Kisazriya, see what's behind. What's the touch here? This equals to 1023. Equals to two words, bris and Torah. Bris, v'Torah, chaim, u'mazo, and you say anything. The two main things on which the world stands is for men to keep the bris kadosh and learn Torah. That's it. What is the secret hiding in plain view here that we don't see? How do we make this happen? How? Okay, we know the outcome, but we don't understand how this engine works. How do we, I almost want to say, impose on the Shekhinah to let the 7 names of the Chokhmah and the Bina shine upon us in order for Bnei Israel to be zoiche after so long to the Geula Shleim? We know the end of the story, but we don't know the beginning of the story. So let's go dig it out. If you take Torah, the 3 ways Torah can be written, it's only in the Hey, you're going to have a difference. So if you take it in full Tav, I wrote, oh no, in the Vav also, it's going to be a difference. I put it Reish, Hey. This we saw last week, 963. I can hear you, Menachem, already. Now we can write Torah this way also. Tav, Vav with the Aleph, Reish, and Hey with the Aleph, like the Alfin. And this equals to 945. There's a third way to write it. Tav, Vav without anything, like by the Shekhinah, Reish, and Hey, which equals to 948. I just want to know what's hiding in there. I don't want to calculate the word Torah, which equals 611, which are the first letters. So basically, I'm going to remove 611 from each one. The number I'm going to have from the inside is 1023 exactly. Ishtar Kisazriya. 3 levels of Torah and learning Torah with what machshava. This is considering that someone is learning lishma. He's not learning from benefiting. He's not learning to take pride. He's not learning to answer people or to prove anything. He's learning for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to make nachas ruach to the Shekhinah and nothing else. There's a lower level, which is the level of nefesh. There's a second level, which is he can even have a machshava to elevate his ruach to his learning of Torah. And the ultimate level with the Yudin, which is the neshama, even his neshama, and then they reveal him secret neshamayim even when he sleeps. So his Torah, when a person is with this first level, even when he is not, he's occupied with mundane tasks and everything, his neshama is learning Torah. That's the reward a person has when he attaches his machshava to the highest level. At the beginning, he doesn't know really how to attach it. He has a hard time. So the nefesh, by being a little bit stubborn and keep on, even with simple machshavas, you're going to see the nefesh will be connected. And you will feel, oh my gosh, I'm in a place I don't know. I'm not in the same world anymore. And after that, you're going to connect your ruach, and you're going to know that you are totally remote from the world where people, even though your goof is there, your naran is not there anymore. And so forth. So we're going to have 1023. The way to push the Shekhinah, so now we discovered the engine, is the person who learns Torah Lishma. At that time, he will be able to trigger the Shekhinah to have the 7 names of HaKadosh Baruch Hu shine upon us with Ur and Seif, and there's going to be the Geula Bezach. We have not to understand, go back, the rest of the passage. What happened prior to the Geula in Mitzrayim. What did HaKadosh Baruch Hu say? We have it in the Haggadah. Ve'at eryoim ve'erya. And you are naked and naked. Does it make sense to you that Yechezkel HaNavi repeats the same word twice? You want to say you are naked. Fine, say you're naked. But now, let me point out something else. You are naked in male tense, and you are naked in female tense. Aaron is Zachar, Arya is Nekeva. What are you telling me here, Yechezkel? I don't understand what you're saying. I understand we have no merits. What have the Bnei Yisrael did at that point? What's the first thing they were ordered? To do bris milah. When the tumor reaches a person, only thing he has to do is don't panic. Don't jump, because the longer you panic, the longer it's going to take you to get away from this tumor, because this tumor affects you. So what's happening to that person? Why and how do I connect it to the words of the Navi? So I know by history what we have done. We have done, HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw there was a kitrug, the Midrash says in Shamayim, that the Bnei Yisrael, Elu Evdei Avodah Zarah, Elu Evdei Avodah Zarah, why HaKadosh Baruch Hu are you saving these people and killing the others? HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave a tremendous mitzvah to the Bnei Yisrael, is to cut the olah. What's the second mitzvah he gave them? They came out of Mitzrayim with 2 mitzvahs. What's the second one? The second one is the Yikhu say ish lebesavoy say labais. They have to take a say. You want to see something really interesting? So we said, oh, here, be'at area and be'area. We said the first mitzvah was a bris milah, so it means to cut the olah. And the second mitzvah was se. So olah equals 305. Equals se. You can come to it 2 different ways. Sur mera va'asetoiv. You're going to end up in the same place. Because as soon as you remove yourself from the bad, automatically you're going to approach yourself to the Kedusha, because that's the only way to get away from the tumor. And then you're going to elevate yourself, and automatically you're going to start doing better and better. Here, the 2 mitzvahs they're doing, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is pointing out, they are going in the same direction. What does this mean to me? I see time passing, but if I have a little bit of time, I could go explain you. Everything depends. Starts with this passage. Ki bekah Hashem sur olam. The side is in there. I don't think I have time to go all the way to the source. If you remind me on Shabbos, I'll explain you how it starts with the here and how it's here is the engine of what we're learning is fully real. Let's go another way. So because we're not going to be able to go. If you take the Yud K Vav K and you look at the letters prior to it, Prior to Yud is Tet. Prior to Hey is Dalet. Prior to Vav is Hey. And prior to Hey is Dalet. This is a Shem Kodesh that precedes Yud Ke Vav Ke, because Yud Ke Vav Ke, even the envelope, which mean the letters that precedes and the letter that succeeds are Kodesh. On the other side, you have the name. These are the letters which are even more Rachamim than Yud Ke Vav Ke. This is tremendous Rachamim. Chav Vav Zayin Vav. Them tremendously Kodesh. You see it in the back of the mezuzah. You see the Chav Vav. Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. We take all the letters that comes after, and he makes, just for you to know, it's Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. The letters that come after is this that you find after the mezuzah. Many people have questions what he means, these letters that you see backward on the mezuzah. It means Hashem Elokeinu Hashem, but with letters that come after. Now, if you take 5 times this, 5 times this equals to 61. 5 times 61 equals 305. I want to make it a little bit simpler. I say Ani equals 61 equals Ayin. When is the Shechina called Ani? When it's in front of the Keser called Ayin. No better place than here. The Keser is going to pass the Neshama to the Shechina. 5 times Ani equals 305. Now, how do you take the word Ani will make the difference? And now we're starting really approaching the landing pad here. If Ani for you means I, you're in the order. If Ani for you, Ani Hashem Elohekechem, who's Ani? The Malchus. If Ani for you is the Shechina, you're in the same. If you take what is the Torah going after, what's the next subject in the whole Parasha? Is Metzora, right? The whole Parasha after that, and the next Parasha equal 406 equals, again, you find Ani. Anikel Shakai. That tells you what the Metzora, the scene of the Metzora. But here also, we're going to remain only with the Shechina. Forget about the second, the 406. We're going to remain with the Shechina. What does it tell us? So we know that they sinned with the Ola in Mitzrayim. They did not do bris milah. They stopped doing bris milah. What happened? How were they punished? They were punished, as that says, befarech, beperach. Perach. Soft mouth. That's what they came. The Midrash say Paro came the first day in the street and he started doing bricks. They say, we see the king doing this. We all have to help. And this is how they got trapped. Perach. 3 of 4. A chet of a person will follow him until he makes tshuva. There is no such a thing. HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends an Isayan, as I told you, as a pointer to the person, not to hurt him. Don't be stupid. Don't keep on going your way, because that's enough up to here. It's over. You have to start understanding that now you have to make tshuva. And this is Kesef in full. Raf, Samech, Pig. With the Don't make mistakes. This tells you where the person is going to go after that. His God will become money. So now you go backward, you see someone who's omnibulated only with money. Everything for him, he'll be a nice guy until you reach the level of money. He can be mevater all of a sudden. He can't even see a blame on his side. He can do anything. You know that person, you can go back and he's soft-spoken and whatever. Don't fall for it. It's 305. He is in the Ola. You can't stay next to him. These guys, Tame and Metame. His mouth, the words that come out of his mouth, his tumor comes and jumps, as it says, on the person, the husband that goes with his wife, or she's Nida, Vetama benidasa. There's no Tyra for him. On the wife, it says if she goes to mikveh, she will become Tahir. But the pasuk remains quiet on the main star. It's a subject for a different time, maybe on Shabbos, but here right now. And now we have this pay that equals exactly Mila, 85. Now we're going to see the bris Mila here. So let me go back here to the pasuk and point something, because now we're getting to a point we can understand. Vetama shivas yamim. She will be Tame 7 days. What is 7 days? The 7 days of the creation. There's no other days. There's no more than 7 days. They just roll back, keep on rolling back and over. But on the 8th day, we're going to have the Mila. You see what the pasuk already, we're starting seeing something coming out, an image here, that for 7 days, because of the nida of Chava that she took from the Nachash, automatically this was metame all the days of the creation, but on the 8th day, you can remove the all. So let's go and explain that a little bit. It says in the pasuk, "Umaltem es olas levavchem." There's 3 ola. There's one in the lashon and the tongue. There's one in the heart, and there's one on the bris. And these 3 olas are aligned in the body, right in the center. And we said many times, when a person speaks, he reveals what in his das. You can be attached to das elyon, or you can be attached to das paroi. And someone who gets secured with this and start listening to know who should I talk, who can I be friend with, who can I let come, to the shir or to this, listen to words. And you will realize that you will do more harm than good teaching this kind of Torah to this type of people. Because the koyach, as Daria Kodesh says, when a person is tamei, the Torah, especially the Torah of the Nistar, the Pnimius Torah, gives tremendous chiyus to the Nachash. So we have to refrain from giving that chiyus to them. Tremendous avla to teach this to people are not fully correct. So the Gemara says in Eruvin, Avraham Avinu stands by the Gehinnom. And whenever he sees a Jew, someone that has a bris, he knows it's a Jew, one of his descendants, and he's going to remove him from the Gehinnom. He's not going to let him go to the Gehinnom. He has to have a din. Avraham Avinu has enough scusim. Leman asher yelamed ezbanov acharov la'asois chesed u'mishpat. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told the angels that Avraham Avinu, his schus, that he's going to teach his children to do chesed and mishpat and laws. What are they? Every chesed, that's why we refer to when a person is about chesed, we refer him like Avraham Avinu, because there is no greater than Avraham Avinu in chesed. And what did Avraham Avinu did at the late age? Also the bris. And therefore, these are midas referred to as Avraham Avinu. So when Avraham Avinu sees someone that carries his mantle, automatically he saves him. He has the right to save him with his own schus. Why? Because he followed on the path of Avraham Avinu. However, someone who goes with a shiktzah, automatically, even though his bris seems to be in this world without olam, the bris of his nefesh, ruach, neshama has a olam. In other words, he looks Jewish, he looks everything on the outside. On the inside, he has nothing Jewish. He has a nefesh, ruach, neshama from the Sitra Achra. That's why the Zohar HaKadosh says, in Pasha Shmois, there's in Sefer Likutim, the Ari HaKadosh emphasizes on this. In the Tikkunim, forget, the Zohar HaKadosh goes ballistic on that. So the person on the outside seems to be from Am Yisrael, but he is not. And that's why it says, as I say, the Zohar, na, he's from Cain, na vanad, na, you're going to be going God's in this world, not in the next world. You're not coming back. You're not getting back after the Amidst. You are not Jewish. When you're going to pass before Avraham Avinu, he's only going to see the bris of the ruach nefesh and neshama, and he's going to see, no, there's an olah there, go to Gehinna, and the guy is not coming out. So now, in order, so now there's many goyim that have a bris, and many Jews think, since this Gemara says this, that anyone that has a bris, Avraham Avinu will save from Gehinna. So they're taking advantage in order to do whatever they want, to fool around. Here says the Ran in Moed Cotton, he brought it from Torah Arishonim. He says, Ani Shamati, I heard. B'Shem HaZohar, in the name of the Zohar. And these are, I want to translate these words because they carry the weight. That Malachei Hashares Malin Hatinoikos, the Malachim, Aktoishim, they do bris milah to those little infants that died before they had bris milah. In other words, if I'm correct, when a baby reaches, okay, he was sick and everything, and he dies within 30 days, within after the 8 days, they take the baby, and on the tombstone, they cut the bris. The Moel does the bris milah right there. And he's buried as a Jew, and they give him a name too. But they don't tell the parents, but the Chevra Kadisha does this. However, if he died prior, they bury him without bris milah. Come, says the Ran, that he heard b'shem the Zohar HaKodesh, that they come, the Malachim, they take the olah from these babies and they put it on the Reshaim and the Goyim that have a milah, so Avraham Avinu sees the olah. So indeed, there is a olah on the, factually on the, and says the Zohar in Shirashim, the Zohar Chadash on the pasuk, Al titen espicha lachtoi bifsarecha. How everything gets together now is this pasuk. Don't allow your mouth to sin and to make you sin in your flesh. How can my mouth make me sin in my flesh? When a person, we have impression that words are just fly. Words never disappear from the world. They go to a place where all the words are stored. Words have more power than an action. In our world, it seems like the lowly part of the person, which is the action, is more powerful than the words, but it's not true. Everything works. You can make things change to what you want with words. You can request from Hashem in your word what you want. It will happen. You don't have. So now a stubborn person will try to go and go get and got hard at the work, and he can ask Hashem, Hashem, I don't want to work that hard. I put in their head to do this and this and that. That's what I want. Please, Hashem, do it. Words will carry their weight much stronger than an action, inviting them, doing chanufa, and so forth. It doesn't work. However, that's true on the good side, but that's true on the bad side. When someone has a foul mouth, because he says leitzanos, because he says bad words, because he speaks about others, and so forth, because he's full of gaiva and he holds himself to be whatever, that person will be choite with his mouth. Once he's choite with the mouth, you can be assured. The mouth is the highest of the three brevity. Once the sin arrived to the highest one, it's not the opposite way, right? The mouth is not down on the ground, it's above. So if he reached that level, he crossed the first two already. You are 100% assured. It's not maybe, it doesn't seem. It's not maybe. It's 1,000,000%. He's a choite. He has machshavos rois. He has irurim roim, and he is someone who's roide farois. Sure, someone who has a foul mouth cannot pretend to be good. Don't let a guy tell you, I'm not looking on that. There's no such a thing. Once their mouth talks garbage, that tells you the inside is only garbage. We're going to prove it. And this is why Shlomo HaMelech said, Shomer pivul shoinoi, the one who guards his mouth and his tongue, even when you're being attacked, even when you're being belittled, shamed, and everything, but you guard your mouth from responding because you have this habit, you're going to see the type of carbon it is to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, way bigger than the carbon we do during the Achila. Remember the Raivet, the shir 2 weeks ago on the Pele Yoetz, that someone who likes something and wants to eat it and refrain himself from eating it, it's a carbon to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, tremendous carbon. And this expiates sin that would require fast and suffering and so forth. This one, you can't even see a dot in the back mirror with the food. This is way, way higher. This makes tremendous noise in Shammai. When a person guards his mouth. When a person guards his mouth, he's zoiche to a different nefesh, ruach, neshama. And every time that a person guards his mouth, when the neshamas of tzaddikim roam in the world and they come and they want to help other yidden that they see their misalim and they want to help them get even higher, they come in them. It's called a ibur neshama. They attach themselves to his neshama and they shine on him so he understands even more and he can elevate himself to places that he didn't have the strength by himself to elevate himself to. Let's go a little bit before we finish on the nutty side of it. Here's a pasuk. Al titen espicha, I didn't know that I wrote it. Al titen es picha lachti es besarecha. Don't give your mouth, don't allow your mouth to make your flesh sin. Just because I see it here, I'm going to tell you. All the names that are in the Midas, Hashem, Keye, Kel, Tzevake, Shakai, Adnus, all the in the Midas equals 956, equal Pisam and Ramses. As I told Menachem, as I saw him this week learning with Jeff, Pisam and Ramses were in Eretz Goshen. Eretz Goshen was the land that Sarah Imenu has been Mekadesh for the Bnei Israel, so they can go down to Eretz Mitzrayim, and he had the level of Eretz Israel. That's what Sarah Imenu had done. Despite that, because they attached themselves to the Olam, they remove all the names that were guarding Eretz Goshen, and it became Pisam and Ramses. That's why in the very same Eretz Goshen, that's when the Shibud of Mitzrayim happened. So, and it's full. If we start with this, we'll be here till the night of the Seder on talking about how many proofs we had. But I would like to finish on this. The Zohar brings down here that when a person guards his mouth, he has the Malachi Argamon coming to protect him. Someone remember was Argamon is?
Purple.
Wrong.
Purple. Scarlet.
Uriel, Rafal, Michal, Gavriel, Nuriel.
Very good. Who said that? Who said it? I don't want to answer. Huh? I'll find out on Shabbos. Uriel in the Mizrach. Rafal in the Myra, in the back. Gavriel to the north. Michal to the south. Nuriel is Uriel, depending if he comes from Chesed or Gvura, so he's going to lead in the Mizrach. So now if you take the first letter, Aleph, Reish, Gimel, Mem, Nun, Argamon. That's why we call them the Malachi Argamon. They're the Malachim that hold the Merkava of the Shechina. Uriel hold the face of Adam in the front in the Mizrach. Refal is in the Marav, is the no, Adam is in the south. So we have four. Nesher is in the Shir is in, so Kruv will be in the Gavriel. So yes, it's Nesher in the Ma'arav. Gavriel has the Shir to the north. Michael has so Aryeh, the Aryeh to the south. So the Merkava is composed by four figures. Aryeh. What did we say here? The Kruv, when it was sent from Shur, Nesher, and we have Adam. These are the four faces. This equals to 1039. Equals to Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama. When someone has a Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Digdusha, he is a Merkava also with the Malachim and he feels it. If he is not there, it means he doesn't have a Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama. He has a Nefesh, was not Zoichet to Ruach. He has a Ruach, he was not yet Zoichet to Neshama. But once you have the three of them, you'll see how your life changes. things happen, and why? Because the Malachi Argaman are watching over him. What does this tell me? This tells me Yaakov Avinu, our ancestor, said something, a sentence that resonates with us when he slept on Hara Moriah, Enze ki'im beis Eloikim, veze shar Hashamayim. This is the house of Hashem, and this is the gate to heaven. Who is the gate to heaven? Is the Malchus. Beis Eloikim is the house. Merkava is the house where HaKadosh Baruch Hu is shoichem. If you take the three yesoidos that we have in the body, the lashon, the lev, and the yesod, right? These are the three of them. Equal Beis Eloikim. Who is in Beis Eloikim? Who becomes a Beis Eloikim that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should be shoichen him there? The one who guards his mouth. Because if you guard your mouth, you're guarding your lev and you're guarding the yesod. Now, if you go upward, you keep the yesod, but you don't get the lev, and the lashon is, and you're always in danger. You're not on a stable ground. The person is always on shaky grounds. Here, if you go from the top, you make sure you want, because you can give your das on one thing. You keep your mouth, you will see that Dusha will come upon. And that's what he says, Nidas here. I said in the Pasuk, Nidas devoisa titma. What's the first letter of Nidas devoisa titma? Nidas. So we have one Nidas, and we have another one hinted in the Pasuk. That's the reason. What are you telling me? The baby, he was born while his mother was seeing blood, dam leida. She has a din of Nida. So she's metame her own son. Ubayoima Shemini is Kedusha. Same gematria is Kedusha. So you cannot reach Kedusha. Now you understand why Bayamashmini Yimoil Besar. So not only then can remove the Ola that he got from being born at the time when the mother had Tumas Nida. So there is a tumor on the mother, and there's a tumor on the son. Now you understand also why. So the son that can remove the Ola, 7 days is enough. The Nekeva that doesn't have the breast, so the mother is Tameh, can they get her? Because she is a daughter of Chava, and her daughter, she's a daughter of Chava. She doesn't have another way to remove the power of the Nachash. Therefore, she has to be Tameh twice. The Lag and Lag Ba'omer, there's some Sefer, I don't have time to go into it, but I just want, the message is huge. Shut your mouth in any case, no matter what they say to you, no matter what they do to you, no matter, yes, you have a response, you are right and everything. There's no point arguing, because the non-arguing brings the Kedusha, tremendous chibur with the Merkava and with the Malachi Agaman, and you will see that it's most worthy. You know, it's not the first time they've done this, and it's not going to be the last time they've done this. They've done this to the Reb Avram Abulafia. The first in the 1300, okay, on the Ashkenaz way was the Roikeach, but in Spain was Reb Avram Abulafia. If you see the life they made him, these people, and these are called Rabbanim, and they made him alive. Why? Because the Chitzonim are fighting every time when someone touches and spread the word, because for them it's like fire in straws. You're teaching these soidas to people, you burn them out, and they're going to fight you to death. That's what happened to the Ramchal. That's what happens to anyone that touches this. the Komana Kodesh, name them. Reb Tzimi Ziditchov. Everyone, the Baal Shem, everyone that touches this and try to spread Reb Nachman Breslev, anyone that touches this and touches Kedusha and spreads Kedusha to Am Yisrael, the other side will come fighting like crazy. So the Baruch Hu, at the end of time, everything, if he didn't allow it, it would have not happened. On the other hand, the Shliach Lidvar Aveira, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, one day will be shoikel everything, and whatever is done behind doors and behind everything, they can rationalize as much as they want. Anyone who soils his mouth, talking and belittling and trying to take down someone and be memarmed the life of a Yid, we will see after 120, but then it's today in this world, it's only temporary. Afterward, it's eternal. But what we learn from this is their personal actions behind closed doors. We know that's one, the bris haloshen control the bris halev and the bris hayesod, the bris hameor. And whoever doesn't keep the bris haloshen, we can be assured that he transgresses all the others. For us, in this year, we only want to learn positively. And we want to know that we're going to control to the best, with the best effort. We're going to fail, but every failure gets us closer to the success. Failure, and don't fall because there was a failure. Don't fall because of thing. In the contrary, be mischazek that next time we're going to do better. And with this, we're going to bring the Geula Shlema. Isha ki tazriya ve yolda zacha. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.